Happy Thursday, Who Dat Nation. Welcome into today's show. My name's Trace Girouard, and welcome to Saints Now. If you want to hit me up, if you want to interact with me, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, Trace Girouard48. I'll have the links in the comment section in the description of this video. Feel free to hit me up if you have comments, questions, or if you just want to chop it up about the black and gold. Love talking to the Who Dat Nation. Let's get into some free agency updates and our updated free agency tracker. So Andrus Peat, offensive guard, has agreed to a rework deal to save around $9.5 million. Jason from Over the Cap, he reported it and confirmed by Nick Underhill, saying the Saints and Andrus Peat have agreed on a revised contract, saving the Saints about $9.5 million in cap space. They're just about restructured out on the year. They've restructured everybody pretty much. So at this point, the current cap space is around $16 million, give or take here and there. It's interesting. The Saints can still go sign some moves. There's still some team needs that they need to address. But before we get into our updated tracker, I just want to remind you guys, please subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. We take pride in being one of the top Saints YouTube channels on the internet. We are a Saints YouTube channel by Saints fans for Saints fans. So subscribe for news, rumors, live shows, and all that. We do everything here. We even are in the YouTube short game. We're always chopping it up with the Who Dat Nation, trying to get on every story. And we're also on a race to 15,000 subscribers. Matthew Peterson in the Broncos Breakdown has a nice little lead on us, but I know the Who Dat Nation's going to come through. So help us catch up to Matthew Peterson, and let's further the gap between my guy Patrick Seaman and Vikings now. Love the dude, but let's beat the Vikes. So let's get into the Saints free agency tracker, with starting off with Tanoh Kpassagnon, the defensive end. He re-signed with the New Orleans Saints on a 2-year, $5 million deal, and this is a pretty interesting, and I like this move because Kpassagnon is a solid piece for the rotation of the Saints defensive line, which we all know Dennis Allen loves doing. That's part of his thing. That's like part of the reason that his defensive lines have been as successful as they have been. He's a good depth piece. I like him on the defensive end. I think that he has earned his bag for sure, so I'm excited to see Tanoh Kpassagnon come back. Biggest one for sure has to be Derek Carr. The Saints have their 4-year, $150 million contract, which is realistically like a 3-year, $100 million contract, excuse me. It's more so kind of like that, how the money actually shakes out. But welcome home, quarterback one. The Saints have their quarterback with Derek Carr. Number 4 is going to be rocking it and rolling in the dome. 60.8 completion percentage, 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. A lot of people are saying you pretty much just got another Jimmy Garoppolo. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Garoppolo has been as successful as Derek Carr with great teams, great defenses, and great systems around him. Derek Carr has done just as good, if not a little bit better, than Jimmy G with worse situations and worse teams. So my point is, you have a Derek Carr on the top 20 defense, top 10 defense consistently. You have good weapons. You have an offensive line that's been invested in. I can't wait to see Derek Carr cooking in the Big Easy. And then also, Jameis Winston will be back as your quarterback too. He has restructured his deal with the New Orleans Saints for a 1-year, up to $8 million deal. Base salary is going to be, he's going to get $4 million for this season. So it's fun. It's exciting to have Jameis Winston back. Y'all know my thoughts on him. It's going to be cool to have him in the locker room. He's an exciting and fun piece. And, football's more fun when Jameis Winston's involved. I'll just say it. But if you are ready to rock and roll with Derek Carr like I am, go down in the comment section and spam 4. Type 4s. Let's get him welcome. Let's make him feel more welcome than he already has. And on top of that, guys, I told you, when Derek Carr jerseys were out, we were going to get them to you. So here we are. I'm a man of my word. I live up to my promises. Chatsports.com/SaintsCar. Go get geared up. We got men's jerseys. We got women's jerseys. And I know y'all are seeing number 0. It's not going to be his number. It would be fresh. Having a quarterback at number 0 would be fresh, Seeps. I would love to see that. But it will likely be number 4. Sorry, Blake Gillikin. So when the number does come in, you will get the actual number he gets. I already have ordered mine, so I encourage you to do the same. Chatsports.com/SaintsCar. I'll have that link for you in the comment section and in the description of this video. It'll be linked to the pinned comment as well. So let's get to Ugo Amadi. He is signing with the New Orleans Saints on a 1-year, $1.8 million deal. It's going to be a good depth piece. The safety depth chart is pretty loaded. You have a lot of guys on there. You have Smoke Monday coming back from injury. He was on IR this past season. So solid depth piece. We'll see how he fits into the roster. JT Gray, your defensive back and special teams ace. He has re-signed with a 3-year, $9.6 million deal. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am just so happy that the Saints are finally investing in their special teams ace, and they're not letting him get away. They're not letting them go to another team and take his talents elsewhere. I know these numbers are underwhelming right now, but when you look at the numbers that he did on kick returns and on special teams, unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And this is his numbers whenever he was playing as a safety or as a defensive back. Whenever he plays as a special teamer, he's off the charts. Juwan Johnson, my guy, Mr. Reliable, JJ, is back on a 2-year, $12 million deal. The former wide receiver out of Oregon, now tight end. I mean, just absolute beast. I am so pumped to have Mr. Reliable back. Juwan Johnson on 42 receptions, 508 yards, 7 touchdowns, along a 41. But underrated stat on this, over half of his catches were either a first down or a touchdown. Pretty damn impressive. When you take a look at the depth chart, you have Juwan Johnson, Adam Troutman, Taysom Hill as your tight end 3. We all know Taysom Hill is not really a tight end. He's kind of quarterback, kind of flex, Swiss Army knife, but you throw him in on the tight end depth chart because that's where it makes the most sense. Don't ask me why. I'm not a coach. You also have Forrestal and Lucas Kroll on the depth chart. I hope to see Lucas Kroll actually get some action. He was on the practice squad all last year, UDFA out of Pitt. Really want to see him do something. I would love to see him succeed. Also, y'all know I'm a Razorback, so he was a former Razorback baseball player. Kind of cool to see all that happen. I love Lucas Kroll. It would be cool to see it work out with him. But let me know, Who Dat Nation, do you want the Saints to add a tight end? I've seen some buzz about Darnell Washington. Mike Gesicki is out there. You can go get some quality tight ends this offseason to add to that depth chart. Let me know, do you want the Saints to add at the depth chart or at the tight end position? Type A for add, type D for don't. Let's get into the defensive side of the ball. On the defensive line, you needed defensive interior, so you went and signed 2 defensive linemen early yesterday morning. Nathan Shepard's the first guy signing with the Saints on a 3-year, $15 million deal. $10.18 is going to be guaranteed. It's a good move. I think that the Saints needed to add some defensive tackles. Nathan Shepard will be a good rotational piece. Right now, he is slotted to be one of the starting defensive tackles. Khalen Saunders, Super Bowl champion, just absolute massive unit, brick wall, just he takes up so much space. It's going to be awesome having this guy on the roster. 3 years, $14.5 million deal for Khalen Saunders. When you look at the depth chart as it is right now, it's not great. It's not horrible. I think that you still need to go add a quality defensive tackle. I think you should still go address defensive end because Peyton Turner, as we know, he's injury prone. He is approaching bust status because he plays pretty good. But that's when he plays. He doesn't play all that often, and the best ability is availability. Spend a first-round pick on him. You got to get some better production. So I would also address the defensive end position. Go get another edge rusher opposite of Cam Jordan. And I love Wham Bam, thank you, Cam, but that man is getting old, and you got to get his replacement. You got to get his successor. So please, Who Dat Nation, sound off and let me know. Name someone that you would like to add in the defensive line. It could be a free agent. It could be a draft pick. It could be somebody they trade for. But I want you guys to be the GM, be Dennis Allen, be the head coach, and let me know who you want to add to the defensive line. And probably one of my favorite moves of the week so far, Jamaal Williams is a Saint. He's a dog. He's just such a dog. 3-year, $12 million deal. $8 million guaranteed. I love this move because not only are you having to deal with a potential Alvin Kamara suspension, you're also going to have to find his successor at some point. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's old and he's getting washed up and he's not producing because Alvin Kamara, is still doing really, really well. Last season, kind of anomaly. He didn't really play all that well. But Jamaal Williams is going to be a perfect replacement for Alvin Kamara as he faces his suspension of about 4 to 6 games, I'm assuming. Last year for the Lions, Jamaal Williams, 262 carries, 1,066 yards, 17 touchdowns, which I'm almost positive led the NFL. First downs, he had 65. You want somebody to be boom and zoom? This is boom and zoom. You're getting that 4.1 yards per carry. Sure, maybe it's a little underwhelming, but you're on a 3rd and short. You're on a 4th and goal. You give the ball to Jamaal, and he's scoring a damn touchdown. I'm so pumped to have Jamaal Williams on the roster, and it's going to be such an exciting move for the Saints and for the future of the Saints. And also to note, Alvin Kamara is a free. He has 1 year left on his contract, so worth noting. So also another reason why he could be a replacement for the future. Ty Summers, linebacker, has been bouncing around, signed a 1 year, $965,000 deal. Probably, it's more of a depth piece. He's probably not going to see too much playing time. I would like to see him play. Not too much tape on him, not too many stats on him. He had 1 good year with the Packers, I believe. But, this is definitely just a depth move. We'll see if he makes the roster, see how things shake out. But, guys, we talked about him, and I want to talk about him again. If you want to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the freaking Saints eat. Go down and let's welcome Jamaal Williams to New Orleans. Type dog in the comment section because there is not anyone who has more of a dog mentality than Jamaal Williams. I mean, y'all saw the post-game press conference, or the post-game conference on the field after they beat the Packers in, week 17 or whatever, and he was like, he was crying. He was all emotional. He was like, it's all dog in here. It's all dog. I'm so pumped. That energy is going to be incredible in New Orleans. All right, let's talk about the players lost because we do have to address this. David Onyemata, defensive tackle. He leaves for the NFC South rivals, Atlanta Falcons, unfortunately. It just sucks. 3 years, $24.5 million deal. He earned his bag. He got paid it. Shy Tuttle also leaving for the NFC South, going to the Panthers. 3 year, $19.5 million deal. Caden Ellis, that one hurts. That one stings, and it sucks. And I don't know if I need ice or if I need a Band-Aid because this shit hurts. Caden Ellis is leaving on a 3 year, $21.5 million deal with the Falcons. I would love to have brought him back, but I don't know if I would have paid him that much money to be a backup linebacker, a depth piece, or just a rotational luxury. I love Caden Ellis, but it's just hard to justify that when you have a solid linebacking core. Marcus Davenport, 1 year, $13 million deal to the Vikings. I think it's best for both parties to move on and find a change of scenery. Andy Dalton is headed to Carolina. If you're Andy Dalton, you're living the best NFL life. You just go to a team for a year or two, and you're getting paid, and you just get to find a new team. So you get to travel the country and see the world. It's great. And then Deontay Hardy, he is headed to Buffalo on a 2 year, $13.5 million deal. Rashid Shaheed pretty much replaced him as the kick returner, punt returner, and then also a wide receiver, speed guy, burner. But Who Dat Nation, thank y'all so much for sticking around. If you made it to the end of today's video, please hit me up and DM me gang. Because if you do, I'll follow you back. I'll hang out, we'll chop it up. I want to hang out and talk with you guys more often. I'm trying to kind of get into the Twitter space game, so if you guys think that's a good idea as well, please give me some feedback on that. But Who Dat Nation, I appreciate all of y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time. See you tomorrow. Peace.